The modern world is composed of many global and world cities. These cities, concentrations of human population, exercise financial, cultural, political, diplomatic, and touristic power. These cities and their governance model the modern-day world. Its dynamics and the interconnections in between these cosmopolitan cities makes up the world's web. New York, one of the most diversified and busy cities, is the 8th largest city in terms of population. Some awestruck admirers ponder why it has been so successful at keeping such a high rank. The real question is how this has come to be. Although this question contains a variety of answers, one is for sure. Infrastructure plays a pivotal role in the rise of this modern-day global city. Since the Industrial Revolution made the United States the most powerful nation in the world, New York has come to be regarded as a pillar of power and global influence. It is impossible to say for certain which factors and assets have catalyzed New York to the front stage of global influence, but surely the city's global infrastructures have ensured the preservation of this connection and might. What are New York's global infrastructures? Firstly, airports have been expanding, becoming physically larger, but also opening up the barriers to connections in many more countries throughout the years. John F. Kennedy Airport is the largest one in New York City, linking global cities such as New York to the rest of the world. In 2013, JFK counted in total 406,181 plane movements, 50,423,765 passengers, 1,320,804 tons of air cargo, 102,792 tons of airmail, and much more. Additionally, New York City is home to LaGuardia and Newark Liberty International Airport, which form, with JFK International, the U.S.'s largest airport system, ranked second on the passenger traffic scale and first in the world on the scale of the total flight operations. These airports enable New York to access a constant influx of goods and services coming from abroad, but also make it possible for it to share what it has to offer and stay interconnected. But bridges are also very important to New York's system, as they allow a connection in between the 5 boroughs: NYC, Bronx, Queens, Staten Island, and Brooklyn. Ports are also important actors in the flows of goods through multimodal transportation methods. New York City holds 2 ports amongst the top 30 of the world's largest ports. These ports not only aid in international trade, but also in global trade and domestic trade, and among these important ports is the Port of Long Beach. Long Beach Port has loaded up to 457,755 20-foot equivalent cargo containers and inbounded 339,343 TEUs on an average monthly basis, and has seen such high numbers since 1995. Another important port is the Newark-New Jersey port, linking this metropolitan area not only to consumer markets in the Midwest, South, and North, but also with Europe and countries in Africa, and also South America. 1/3 of the goods that come from the eastern seaboard come from this port, marking its undeniable effect on the supply chain. The goods and services that arrive daily through the doors of these ports are transported thanks to multimodal transportation methods, such as the diffusion of train, boat, airplane, and truck transportation. These methods enable a faster and more efficient diffusion of the goods and services wanted in the U.S. consumer markets and the markets abroad. But New York's system does not stop there. Trains are also key in New York's dynamics as a growing and busy city. New York's subway system, ranked 6th in the world in terms of efficiency and development, is a critical part in all New Yorkers' lives, as it enables them to go to their jobs and continue to make New York what it is. Linking all 5 boroughs, all 9 million inhabitants, north, south, west, and east, the subway and train system is practical and efficient, and some people have even come to call it the motor behind the machine. But on top of this formidable asset, New York has a rich train system that links it with other cosmopolitan cities, such as Washington, Boston, Montreal, Philadelphia, Chicago, and even farther out cities such as Los Angeles and New Orleans. It is thus evident that New York is the first stepping stone on the road to other stepping stones, a bright city connected with the world via planes and linked with continental North America via trains. With all these assets, New York has come to be regarded as the heart of the eastern United States. These factors thus made New York a thriving hub for an eclectic diversity of activities. These activities include the financial center of the world with Wall Street, the hegemonic touristic destination in the world, the fifth most traveled destination, commercial meccas such as Times Square. Tourists alone spend approximately $18.6 billion in New York a year, one of the biggest migrational hubs in the US, and much more. All these elements make New York an ever-evolving and forever pivotal hub for all sorts of human activity. But there is a reason why New York City has been dubbed a global city. Its 5 boroughs, Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, and Staten Island, all have a versatile array of attractions. The northeastern metropolis is home of many top universities and has a high concentration of opportunities, one of the many reasons it is so attractive. New York City is the largest region of business services in the world and is a key city in world business affairs. It also functions as a main receiver of flows of many types. This bustling population contributes to the maintenance of New York City's impressive ranking by contributing to its culture, economy, and prosper. Its many attractions make it a reliable and efficient element in the methods of today's globalized world, remaining a trustworthy and stable actor in international trade. An important interface when talking about the global influence is New York's proximity with European states, the Statue of Liberty being the symbolic welcoming portal. New York is also linked with the Big Lakes through the Hudson and the Erie Canal, as well as with the Mississippi and the St. Lawrence Acts (MSA). New York is thus a global city that receives and simulates many flows through its important ports, as 80% of the world's commerce is by boat, and through its 3 airports, although 2 are gateways, which in turn help sustain attractiveness for the many tourists that visit. Last but not least, New York imposes an influence on other countries and inserts itself on the global platform through its information and communication technology, such as the underwater internet and communication cables, which allow it to stay connected to the world and add to the number of interfaces it shares with its international conglomerates. It is thus clear that New York, its 5 boroughs, 9 million people, 2 main airports, 2 ports, 6 main bridges, and many more resources, will continue to be a powerful and leading city.
Lights is blinding, girls need blinders, or they could step out of bounds quick. The sidelines is line.